Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about why women can't love men. And this is very important. And it's not what you expect. Or rather, it is, but there's more to it. So, stick with me. Now, most MGTOW understand that women don't love men. They love what men can do for them. And therefore, they don't love him. But that's an incomplete explanation. I mean, that is hypergamy. And you need to understand that this is not a bad thing. Women are evolved to select the men that are most capable of helping the woman produce a child and successfully raising that child. So if she's with a man and he's really not very capable of supporting her and the child, and she comes across a man that is capable of supporting her and the child, and all other things are equal, she's designed to be able to recognize that and to not feel too bad about leaving the man that's not capable. So understand that her behavior, it's not random. In other words, she's not just being unkind to some guy. Well, she might be. But that's not what's driving the behavior. And that this instinct is actually a good thing. Otherwise, women would not be able to successfully raise their children. The women who have this trait will be more successful in raising their children. Therefore, every generation, there will be more and more of those. So whatever is a positive trait towards evolution will grow. Whatever is a negative trait will decline. So you can understand that that's why the women do it. It's not personal. Although, it is personal. And this is where the understanding comes into play. Women don't love men. They love what men can do for them. But here's the thing. Men do apparently love women. Or do they? Because they also love what women can do for them. But it just so happens, guess what? That what women can do for men and what men can do for women, they're different things. Do you know why? And this is going to surprise some of you, especially the women. Because we're different. And we do different things. So we mean something different to each other. As we characterize love, this idea of cherishing something and caring for something, valuing something, and it needs to be consistent. In other words, you can't value and protect something for 6 hours out of the day, or even like if you were to do it for, say, 16 hours out of the day. You could not necessarily say that on the balance you love them. Right? So it's a constant thing, this idea of love, right? Now, if a woman needs a man for his resources, if she needs to send him out to work, no matter how he feels, if they need the resources, how is that consistent with this idea of what we consider to be love? It's not, is it? In other words, these things are at odds now. But what about from the male point of view, right? Because he wants to get together with the woman, not for the work that she can do, not for, the material that she can provide, but for her genetic fitness, for her beauty, for her attractiveness, for her demonstration of health, for fertility. That's why, the men are attracted to the younger women. And that's why they're attracted to a certain attitude as well. Because it's conducive towards, building these relationships of nurturing. That's why a very pretty woman with a very bad attitude, it's not a good deal. It's not going to work out in the long run. So even if the man can get together with her because she's very beautiful, in a very short period of time, he's like, no, this is a terrible person and I don't want to be around them. Because the man is looking for, this whole package. Just like the woman is looking for her complete package. But notice that the man wants to reproduce. The man wants the woman to have children. So notice that what he wants from the woman is completely consistent with this idea of loving and cherishing and protecting all day long, providing for, okay? Women need men to work for them in order to provide resources. Men need women to be beautiful and to be emotionally stable so that they can have and raise children, and so that the man will remain attracted and motivated to be with her. We need two different things from each other. The resources that the women need, it's not consistent with this idea of love and cherishing and valuing. The instinct of desiring the resources is not consistent with taking care of the man. She'll take care of the man. She'll help him because she needs him to work. And she values the work and the resources. But what happens if you put her into an environment where Big Daddy government is now supplying her with the resources? She can't even value the man. You understand that? She can't even value him. She becomes contemptuous of him. Just like a man would be contemptuous of an infertile woman, that's got a bad attitude, a feminist, right? Of what use are feminists to men? So do you see where this dynamic is going? because women and certain people, essentially people who are motivated by resentment, people who are relying on strong, capable men to get their resources, do you understand that the female position breeds resentment? That even if the man does provide for her, and even if he is strong enough, and even if she, even if she overcomes her tendency towards, having affection for the man versus she needs the man to work, you understand that no matter what she gets, she is resentful for being in this position, in this, weaker, subservient position. I think almost anybody would be. So this is part of being a female. And the man has to deal with the idea that the affection is not for him. As a matter of fact, the idea of caring, having great affection for him and then getting resources from him, which is completely necessary, are at odds with each other. And it breeds resentment. You understand that now. Now, also understand that given what the man wants from the woman to reproduce and to have, affection for him so that he's motivated, how consistent this is with indulging somebody well above and beyond anything reasonable. In other words, the men really do want to keep the emotional state of the women happy. But now the women want to blame the men for all of their shortcomings and failures in life as an individual. In other words, the reason why she's not president is because men have been oppressing women for thousands of years. The reason why she's not a great, movie director is because men have been oppressing women for thousands of years. And one time a man, asked her out for a cup of coffee. So all of their shortcomings and failures in life, they blame them on the men. And the men allow this because the men want to indulge the emotional state of the women. This isn't so different from a woman who's pregnant looking, waking up in the middle of the night and saying, I want pickles and ice cream. You have to go to the store and get those things. And the man saying, okay, okay, honey, I'll go get those things. If that's what it takes to keep you happy. So now the women are saying, hey, every bit of interaction with a man is sexual harassment, unless he's, bowing down and capitulating and, demonstrating fear before us, because we certainly don't value his resources or the work that he can do. Our situation as men dealing with women would be like if men had unlimited sex bots where they, and you couldn't even tell the difference between a real woman and a sex bot, except for how they behaved. You get the idea. Imagine how many men would start to treat women if they didn't need female companionship at all. So that's why these dynamics that we're dealing with are going on. And it stems from this fundamental misperception that men and women are the same. Of course they're not. Even two men of different abilities are not the same. It's like one guy, he can pilot a jumbo jet. Another guy, he can barely hold down a job on an assembly line. One man can be president of the United States, and the other man can't even maintain, his emotional balance. But if you're told that men and women are the same, and you try to, hold on to that belief, this will drive you crazy. It's absurd. Nobody wants to, nobody's looking at the man and saying, wow, he's very attractive. I want to go out and date him. I'm sorry about that. But they are looking at the woman in that way. So in other words, understand that because the man wants physical affection and sexual access from the woman, he treats her as something that is cherished. Understand that because what the woman wants and needs, and it's not a crime, resources from the man, she treats him like a workhorse. Understand that because the man wants the woman to be happy so that she can reproduce and, be affectionate towards him, he will indulge her emotional states, even if she's, crazy, a little crazy. Understand that because the woman needs the resources and work from the man, not only is she not going to indulge his emotional states very much, she's going to learn how to manipulate the hell out of those emotional states. Does this sound familiar? Right? Does this help explain the dynamic of what's going on? Why when you walk up to a woman, you're all like, hi, nice to see you, nice to meet you. What can I do for you? And she's looking at you and sneering and saying, don't bother me, leave me alone. This is harassment. Do you understand why? And do you understand that if she didn't have any resources and the government wasn't there, when you walked up to her because she would need all that a man could provide, she would be like, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. So what do you do for a living? That's how she would act because of the circumstances. In other words, these innate traits of our nature, you're not going to change them too much. And it's crazy to try to work against them too much. Take what you have and what you are and make the best of it. And don't compare it to other people. Be happy with what you have and then build it up. It's your life. It's your journey. nobody else's. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. It matters what you're doing. Your progress is what matters to you. Your journey is what matters to you. And the man's journey is different from the woman's journey in every moment. So remember that. We are different. You're looking for something different. And it's governing how you treat the woman, how you interact with her, how you look at her. She needs something different from men. As a result, she doesn't have a bunch of affection for them or respect for them. So understand that dynamic when you're interacting with people, okay? It even works, like between a very wealthy, powerful man who's a boss, who's your boss, and you're just coming into the business wanting to earn a living and learn the trade a little bit, learn the craft, okay? You're not the same. He wants something different that you want. So you're going to treat each other accordingly, to what you want from each other. I think part of the confusion is the idea that the young men, and the men in general, are constantly being told that men and women are the same, when I'm sure you realize that nothing could be further from the truth. And I hope you understand that since she already has the resources of the man, since the government is already providing the protection, why she would want to put forth that view, that mind frame, because then she doesn't have to value the men. It's terrible for a man to not be valued. I struggle with those feelings quite often. So it's important for you as a man to stay focused, to not allow yourself to be, judged by external validation, to judge yourself through internal validation as much as possible. I believe if you're aware of the truth of the situation, you focus on the truth and getting results in reality, I believe you'll be able to do that. But if you go into the emotional world of a woman that is based in her feelings and resentment, that I think it would be very difficult to even maintain your health and mental stability as a man. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. And I hope this gives some insight to the dynamic and the situation at play so that you can turn it a little bit more to your advantage. Please let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.